Hi, Andy.
Hey, Nicole, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. And I have, as always, our question for today.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me just read it
Well,
here if I can
let's
find it
let's
here.
get
Okay.
let's get into it.
All right, here we go. Hi, Nicole. I'm on social media a lot, but sometimes I'll see a post that really triggers me. I'm a trauma survivor and lost my mom in an accident a couple of years ago. I don't even go on social media. I don't even go on social media Mother's Day because I know I'll just feel like crap when I see all the happy family pictures. Am I just being bitter or is it me? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a real thing. It's not just you. First of all, I mean, I think this is a very courageous question and something that a lot of people cope with. And it's not just you because what are we doing with each other online? We're together. We're interacting with each other. You're not alone. The whole reason why we're on social media is because we're not alone, and so you're not alone. It's just a different way of receiving the communication. And so, you know, I love this question. Really, I love this question because it brings up something that people, uh, maybe us doing podcasts or whatever, we're thinking, hey, know your audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you think of how many friends you have on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, a lot of times people are posting things and they're not thinking about their audience. They're not thinking about how what they
Oh,
say is gonna like if I have 15 or 20 friends that are recovering from a drinking problem and I post pictures of me drinking booze all the time,
right.
it's not going to go over so well.
Right.
So I guess that's a really pertinent example. But like, yeah, like, we post things saying, kind of like, look at me without necessarily thinking about the other that is a real person on the other end of the
Sure.
screen that is going to feel they are going to feel something about this. And so this person's like, I lost my mom. I suffer from trauma and I don't even want to go on. I don't want to see this stuff on Mother's Day.
Right.
I mean, I think that's very heartfelt.
Well, obviously, but
Yeah, I mean, they would have written in if it wasn't, but yeah, yeah. And so I think there are a couple points to consider. Is one is that when we do, I think, and this doesn't have to do with directly with the person who's asking the question, but if we're all on social media and we're posting something, we need to realize that the eyes that are upon us,
mm-hmm.
we do need to realize that what we say and what we do actually do influence. We do influence other people, and it does affect them.
Sure.
I think
Well,
that,
that's going to be a tough one. Because most people are posting because they want you to look at them. Like you said,
look
nobody's
at
like,
me.
oh, they don't care. They're not thinking about her trauma. They're thinking, hey, how cool is my life? I want to show everybody else.
And I think that is a one of the reasons why it does have some mental health effects. Is like because if you are, I mean, that's really narcissism. Look at me. Look at me. It's all about me. It's not
Well,
about you. It's not
sure.
about my friends, my
Right.
followers. It's not about them. It's about me. Look at me. Look
Just
at me.
just like when I posted my video of my box jump. It was like,
I
well,
love you. Okay, you may have to post that because you were like a cat. You were like boom with the box
well, I
jump.
know, but that's so you
I was
post it
impressed.
because you want people you want I'm like I want people to think I'm just
Okay, so I
this
love this
great.
because first of all, your box jump was freaking amazing. Your box jump
Thank
was
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
But I have to say, from my end, your box jump was amazing. But I was also a little jealous of you.
Right.
I was like, I
Well,
wish
that
I
was what
had
I
that
was hoping
performance. I
for.
wish I had
I
that.
wanted to make everyone feel really bad about themselves.
Right? I'm sure you did. I'm
I
sure
mission
you thought, I want
accomplished.
Nicole, and Nicole in particular, I want Nicole to look at this box jump, look what I could do and what she can't.
No, but you know what? Actually, though, so yeah, part
This
of
is
it was
great.
me posting it, to get that positive reaction, I guess, from people. And but
Oh,
part of it though is trying to inspire other people to
well, I mean, you should
do
be
it.
proud. You should be proud of your box jump. I mean, that takes real work, real time, and so you should be proud of it. And you can't control other people's feelings. You can't control if they
No,
feel bad or not. And so I think we all need to take a step back and maybe realize that social media isn't as personal as we think it is,
right.
because we could take things very personally, and we need to realize, look, I'm not. And I think when we hone in on the screen and we look, we say, okay, I'm the only one. This is about me. We all do that, but
Sure.
it's not. If you have 2,000 friends, or however many, 20 friends even,
Right.
it doesn't matter. Like, it's not just about you. It's about other people too. And this person, it is a way of just, okay, I'm showing something.
Yeah.
I'm putting, and not necessarily in a bad way. I mean, you should be proud that you, hell, I'd like to accomplish the box jump like you did. And it is slightly inspiring, but it's also slightly jealousy producing.
Right. But so in the case of the question though, so unless the people that are posting, I mean, it would be really hard to do though, because let's say, yeah, if you have 2,000 friends, everybody's going to have some issue. So then you would never post anything because you would offend somebody at some level. So it's
Well,
more right.
yeah. I mean, we're not going to make everybody happy all the time.
So,
Life.
so how does she deal with that? Because I think it would be very difficult to get most people to consider, well, how are people going to feel about this? I
Okay,
just
one thing is that each person needs to kind of know your audience. I mean, you obviously everybody's different. You're not going to please all your friends all the time and things like that. So that's an important point. The second point is, then the person this person that wrote the question needs to realize, maybe I do have some unfinished business.
right.
Why is it really, is there still, I mean, they've experienced trauma, they've experienced loss and grief, and this is a reminder. So when they see it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go on Mother's Day because it's a reminder that I don't have my mom anymore,
Right.
and it's going to make me sad. So,
Right.
so maybe do avoid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, I'm not going to go on Mother's Day.
Right.
I'm gonna skip past all those posts. I'm not going to look at them because it's just going to make me feel bad. But then I think there maybe is some grief or unresolved issues that they could talk to a therapist about, talk to a counselor about, that are important,
Right.
you know, because I mean, you want to see your friends happy. Like I was honestly happy for you that you could accomplish the box jump, but I was also jealous. And so you don't just have one feeling.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
feelings are mixed and complicated and
True.
not necessarily rational all the time either.
That's for sure.
So, right. And so, explore the unfinished business that you have within yourself as to, well, what is it about that grief or loss that I don't even want to see my friends happy
Right.
with their moms. It's really bothering me because there could be something more there. And I think as much as people say social media is bad,
Right.
it also is in a way, also a reflection or a mirror that we need to pay attention to.
So speaking of
Real,
unresolved issues,
real life. We
that's
have.
Lowell. Anyway, Lowell is he's barking, so that's okay. Anyway, so I think that so she really needs to come to grips with whatever that is, because that's something she can control. You can't control what people are posting, right?
No.
So it's like you have to figure that out. I mean, that's out of my. It's
Well, I mean, you could try to filter. You could try to filter as much as stuff as possible. But if you're on your phone and you're looking at news and you're looking at social media and things like that, there's only so much you can filter before you are going to come across something that's going to piss you off or make you
right,
upset or angry. And I mean, you could react and be very aggressive towards that, or you could just really think. So where was that? Like,
just keep going. Sorry.
okay, no worries. So if you're online, if you're on social media, you're going to come across a post and it's going to piss you off, or somebody's going to say something that offends you. And I think that this is each time that happens, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to like explore how you want to handle it in a kind way. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be mean. You don't even necessarily have to ignore. You may need to take some time with yourself to figure out why is this bothering me so much, and what can I get out of it.
Right.
So I mean, I think I really do think social media may have some negative benefits, but it also can have therapeutic benefits in that if you're able to self explore a little bit and say, well, why is this bothering me?
Right.
And just be curious. Just instead of being down on yourself about it and saying, why is this bothering me, and being upset, say, well, why is it? Let me be curious about this. Why is this bothering me, and what can I do to feel better about it?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because I think, and this is my kind of third point, is that you pretty much figure if you've accepted someone as your friend online. I mean, now some people will accept anyone.
right.
That's a boundary issue. But if you've accepted, but your friend, people who are your friends, people who are your supporters or whatever, usually they're not trying to hurt you.
No, of course not.
They're not trying to. They don't want to offend you. I mean, you didn't post that. Tell me you didn't post
What?
the box jump video just to piss me off and make me feel bad about my own physical health.
Well, maybe 20% was that, but no, of course not. No, and that's the thing. I didn't think about how you're going to feel about it.
I had feelings about it.
Well, clearly, but if I had to, oh my God, if I had to process that, it would be. I mean, I don't post
Okay,
that
so
much stuff anyway.
thank you very much, because that's the challenges of the internet right there. You just nutshelled it right there. Like, if I had to process which each of these people are going to have, what their opinion is going to be. Opinions are like, we know what they're like.
Right, I know, and
Everybody's got one.
yeah, so nothing would happen.
Yeah. So, but clearly you didn't think, oh, Nicole's going to feel a little bit jealous. She's going to wish that she could jump like a cat. We're going to have to post this video when we post the show. We're just going to have to. I mean, because you're very agile in it. I'm like, man, I just so wish I could do that.
I know.
It's a little bit of envy, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of me feeling like I'm not as good as you, Andy.
Well, that's just, and many other things besides box jumps.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think because you could take a Victoria's Secret model.
Sure.
And although that's all
and have her do a box jump.
Yeah.
I think I'd pay money to see that.
Probably more money than we'll ever make, but yeah. I think though that I do know people do look at this stuff and say, well, why can't I look like that? Why can't I be like that? What's wrong with me? Da da da. And we'll get into that further, but I mean, it's a compare and despair.
So if we were to tie this up in a nice little bow, so there's going to be a reaction, like internally, to whatever you see. It could be political stuff. We see that all the time. People get all wrapped up around their axle about, whoever it is. It's Trump said this and Pelosi said that.
Oh my gosh. I saw that story of the children. It was a while back. The children that were kept in cages. It was a show, or it was a story. It was a story in California about these poor kids. And the one very brave girl escaped from the home and had like a non-working cell phone that could still call 911, and she saved her siblings. And now that case has been resolved, but these kids have been tortured for years. And I saw that story, and it made me cry. Mm-hmm. It made me cry of the pain and suffering that these children have gone through. Yeah. It made me think of abuses that have gone on with me in my own life, and I really felt for these kids. So yeah, you can see something and it does trigger deep reactions in you.
Right.
And you think this is one story, and we're like, if you're going on your feed and scrolling through and seeing tons of stuff a day, it is a lot to process.
Right.
And I think for people who have suffered from trauma, there are certain things that, if you need to avoid it as much as you can, then you do that. A lot of search engines have filters where you won't see certain stories, or we all have the choice to click on and say, oh,
Right.
I don't want to see this person anymore.
Right.
I don't want to hear about the Kardashian. The Kardashians don't interest me. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't, but
Well, they definitely don't interest me.
well, yeah, okay. So, like, but there are like click buttons for that, and I'm not saying we should shelter ourselves completely, but sometimes it is good to protect ourselves if
Right.
we're dealing with something, and I think that's important.
So in the past episodes, we talked about in certain things you would have people take like a little baby step toward something. Like dip your toe in the water and kind of get comfortable if you're uncomfortable. I think that was like the social anxiety thing. So isn't
Uh-huh.
this? Would you do the same thing with this? So if somebody's suffering from this anxiety from a trauma and they see something on social media, is it, I don't know, you go and look at one post and I don't know. I mean, it's not the same thing.
Well, I think we just kind of did it because, like, okay, so you and I had this open conversation about how I was jealous about your
Mm-hmm.
box jumps, right? My issue, we learned a lot here. I feel like we learned a lot from this experience. You were like, oh goodness, like, I didn't realize I had that effect on people, and you do. And I realized, maybe it's not about all about you. It's not all about me. And so I think, if you come across a post of one of your friends or something like that and it really bothers you, maybe have a conversation with them about it openly, like just like we did.
I know, but if you have, so if like somebody's posting a Happy Mother's Day thing, and you're still upset because your mother died, like I don't know, do you have a conversation about that with somebody? It's like, hey, your post about your mother
It,
really made me sad.
well, I mean, you're going to see maybe lots of posts like this on Mother's Day or on any particular holiday, 4th of July, or Christmas. Let's say Thanksgiving. Let's say Thanksgiving,
Sure.
you're all alone and everybody else is with their family.
Right.
It's sad. Or it could be
Could
sad.
be. Sure.
It could be sad. And so I think, people that you feel closer to, because if you looked at all your friends, there are people that you feel more close to than others, and
Yeah.
maybe do reach out.
Right.
We're
Well,
not
sure.
here to hurt each other. We're here to help each other. And so I think maybe say, you and your family look so happy. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm a little bit like, I wish I could be with you. Let's not just show off
Yeah.
and
Right.
say, look at me. Let's include each other and continue to talk about it. And I
Well,
think that's very important.
Well, that's a good point because, like I think most people on social media, you have like your core people, your family, close friends or whatever, and then sort of the hangers on, the groupies, whatever you want to call them. So, but in that case, if you have like a really good friend that knows that your mother's passed away and you've had a trouble with it, you would think that they would, like you said, reach out and be a good
So
friend and include them and try to make them feel better. So, right. So that's a great point is we should all think about those close people that we know and kind of what they're going through and then help them
yeah,
out.
two sides to the coin. One is I mean, obviously, this is a great question uh, that says, hey, this bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
So that person needs to think about, why did I can't control what other people do. I can't personalize it or over personalize it too much.
Right.
I need to be aware, of my own process and what's going on with me. But then I do think that on the other end of the line, or the other end user, if you will, on social media, does need to think like, hey, like if I post something like this, do I know any of my close friends that would be a little bit like, or do I, we could
Right.
actually have a conversation about what's going on in our real life. We don't have to post it, but we do, and that's life. That's what we're
Right.
all doing. But
Yeah.
I think it's good to be aware. I do think it's good to be aware.
Good stuff.
I think so. I think so, and I think it's good just to kind of break it down and um, kind of almost destigmatize the use of social media because it's not all bad.
Right.
We can
No,
reach out to each other, and great things can happen. And
absolutely.
so I think it's important to recognize that there can be these great close moments you have on social media, and you're like seeing a good video and be like, hooray, like
Yeah,
it's so inspiring. I love this.
absolutely.
Or it may make you feel differently, but that's your own feelings are yours to explore. And then how you affect people is something to explore.
Good.
We're all very powerful. Let's make the most of it.
So that's a great place to probably wrap up for now. That was a really good summary. We would love to keep the conversation going. So leave your comments below and we'll respond. But we want to keep this going and try to help get as many perspectives as possible here as we move forward. So if you love what we're doing, hit the subscribe button and also that little notification bell. It will give you notifications when we release new episodes. Also, tell your friends about this. It's good stuff. There's something here for everybody because we all have problems that we need to deal with. We're also on social media. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We'd love to have you. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.